Meanwhile, out in the garden here, one thing exciting is that our little baby greens are coming up. Oh. Okay. Hey everyone, welcome back to another week of the Great Garden Challenge, where we're taking this 15 by 20 foot garden space behind me here and we're seeing how much dollar value worth of food we can grow over the whole season. And you get to guess. Whoever gets the closest wins the Great Garden Giveaway. $500 worth of free seeds, a free Birdies Raised Bed, and unlimited level access to Seedtime for life. Go drop down in the description and click the link to go over and put in your guess. But last week, you all got to see us thin our beets, a special method that we use to get extra harvests off of our beets as they're growing. We can thin them down. You also got to see us curl up our tomatoes a little more, seed some more baby greens underneath them, and do some fertilizing because they weren't looking that great, which brings us all down to this week. Just before we get there, I do want to put in another little plug for our special fundraiser that we're doing, aiming to raise enough funds to lift 100 families out of poverty into an abundant life. And so if you'd like to be a part of that, drop down in the description and check out the fundraiser with FarmStew. They teach people how to grow their own food and then even sell it to the community and just really, in a holistic way, raise them out of poverty. So huge thank you to everyone who has donated. If anyone gives $1,000 or more, it's going to trigger a Bonanza giveaway. And so jump down, check that out. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, subscribe to this channel to get all of the updates of the garden as we go through the season. So let's talk about what happened this week. One of the first things that we did this week in the garden was I came out to our garden and I brought those tomatoes that had been growing inside and our lettuce that was growing inside, it was like overgrowing, and brought them out to the garden, put them outside where under the lean-to next to my parents' house here, and let them sit out there for a couple days. And then I came and potted on the tomatoes into larger pots. I came over to our hoop house here because I'm going to be potting on these tomatoes, and so I need to get some 6-inch pots here. Let's count these up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This is the same thing that I did with our tomatoes earlier this year, and our peppers and our cucumbers when we potted them on. I also need to get some compost. I was gonna mix up my own compost mix, but ended up finding these bags of potting mix that we already had, so I ended up using that. By the way, if you're looking for a good potting mix to use, don't get this stuff that I'm using here right now. Get the stuff from Mindful Farmer that's on the Seedtime Store that our little plants are growing in, because those soil blocks are some of the best potting mix that I've grown starts in. Uh-oh, what happened? Did you dump water on yourself? Oh, I'm sorry. So as I was saying, go get some of the living potting mix from the Seedtime Store. The thing is, when I'm potting up into these larger pots, my plants already have some nutrients from that living potting mix. So I don't necessarily need to use the living potting mix in the whole 6-inch pot. Would it be good? Yeah, it'd be great, you know, and you know, adding it into your garden soil, that would be great too. In this case, you know, I am kind of trying to save money. Number one, by not buying more and more potting mix, which is why I was going to mix up my own with some of the compost that we have here and the wood chip mulch that has been decomposed, or in this case, use up this whole potting mix. But if you can, I would use that potting mix from the Seedtime Store, 100%. So I just took all of these, filled them up with the potting mix, and I've got enough, I think. I'm gonna be taking each one of these tomato plants, pulling it out here in its little soil block here, and then we're going to be planting them down inside here. So I'm doing this kind of one-handed here, but basically gonna dig a spot for it, press it in, put some soil around the top, and that's it. Now, because I have these planned inside Seedtime and put in my layout, I know that I only need 13 tomato plants here. So I'm potting those tomatoes on so they have a little bit more time to grow while these finish up. Then when these come out, we're gonna be throwing those tomatoes in this space here, right? So now watch this. I do have a few little tomato plants here that I am going to get rid of and gonna throw them over on the compost pile over here. But I am not gonna get rid of this potting mix that's left over here. Instead of throwing this out, we can take this and put it on our garden bed. So I'm just gonna take it and sprinkle it under my kale here, and it will just add to the amendment of our soil. Put it under the kale and the Swiss chard, and that way we don't let anything go to waste. We're just gonna let these have some outdoor time here, a little bit of a transition out time, hardening off time before going in the garden. Then later on we came out and we did a lot more harvesting in the garden as well, including our very first harvest of the sugar snap peas. Woo! Look at that, and our first peas.
And here's another.
Here's one.
Are you sure that's what are ready to pick?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not a very big harvest, but it is our first harvest. Haven't actually eaten one yet, but I'm sure that they taste amazing. You'll see that we have a lot of the baby greens are coming up in the aisles, and we harvested out kale, we harvested Swiss chard, we harvested like all of our herbs, our first official harvest of dill, but also we harvested basil and parsley and cilantro. And earlier on, we also harvested 2 heads of lettuce that were starting to bolt. And we had just let them grow long enough that they actually started to bolt and go to seed. This is what happens when you don't harvest them on time. We already have a bunch of lettuce in the fridge, so it's like, oh no, I don't wanna harvest it right away. If your lettuce starts to bolt like that, they'll just start shooting up in the middle, and they're gonna shoot up and put out their flower stalk. Snap off a piece of the leaf and taste it. Just check to see if it's bitter, because if it's not bitter yet, that lettuce is still great to eat, which these were. This lettuce here is not bitter. Even though it's bolted, it actually tastes really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and harvest it, and let's do it. So we harvested them out, and we added them to our harvest list here as well. There was one other new thing that we harvested this week as well, and that is that we harvested out all of our green onions. In fact, we harvested the entire patch because they started to go brown on the top, and when they start dying back, like, I don't think that they're gonna keep growing well. We're gonna leave the roots behind in the soil.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take these and spray them off and clean them all up. And then we'll have nice green onions. Some of them were a little bit small, but I think part of that had to do with the fact that there were so many packed together in a bunch. Whereas if there was fewer of them, the individual stalks probably would have gotten a little bit bigger. It was a lot of onions. It was like 8-something pounds of onions. I forget the exact number. I had a lot of fun washing those off with my son Ethan and getting them all cleaned up and weighed for our harvest, which, by the way, brings us now to over $500 worth of food that has come out of this garden so far. We're not even to June yet in this season. Wow. This is really fantastic. I've been having such a blast with this garden so far. After harvesting all of that yesterday, today, inside, I seeded another succession planting of lettuce. So we've got 2 plantings of lettuce inside now, one that was just started and one that's like a couple weeks old. Be ready to go out in another week or 2. And I just seeded another succession planting of lettuce right now, filled up its reservoir, and I'm going to cover it with this humidity dome. We are set. We're going to be continuing this throughout the season so that we can have a continual harvest of lettuce all season long. Those are going to be coming on so that we can keep these successions going inside the garden outside here. And then I came back out to the garden and seeded in some baby greens on the side of the peas where our arugula had gotten completely eaten by these yellow margined leaf beetles. I looked them up in the Seek app because I wasn't sure exactly what beetle they were, but they're a little beetle. They do like to eat brassicas. They had completely destroyed our arugula. I mean, literally, there's like nothing left there. So one thing I've noticed about these yellow margined little leaf beetles is that they're not going after the lettuce as much as they're going after the brassicas. And arugula would be similar family there. So what I am going to do is plant this heat tolerant lettuce mix in the space that we had the arugula here instead. And I'm going to put my arugula over here where the green onions were. Now we'll see what happens. It may just all get chewed off, but just because I know that this spot seems to be a hot spot for these little critters, I'm going to go ahead and put this in. For those of you that were wondering what heat tolerant lettuce mix am I using, this is the one that I'm using from Territorial Seed Company. It's called Organic Lettuce Heat heat tolerant lettuce mix. It has some pretty amazing reviews, including one review that said that they were growing this lettuce in over 95-degree temperatures without it getting bitter. I have not yet personally experienced that, but the reviews are there. So we'll see what happens as we enter into summer here. But I'm gonna go ahead and start just sprinkling these in. And if you're careful, you can seed a row by just sprinkling them out of the packet like this. By the way, seeding little succession plantings and companion plantings like this is really so easy. It doesn't take very much time and the reward is fantastic. So if you have not tried this in your garden yet, definitely, I would say give it a try, because seeding extra plantings like this is 100% worth it. And you can easily double your harvest, especially double your harvest value by doing this, if not more. Then I took the spot where the green onions were, we seeded in baby arugula there, and I'm gonna be watching it closely. Those little beetles are still around. Here's the thing, I don't necessarily want to kill them. Might sound crazy. I want our garden ecosystem to balance out. So if there's any natural predators around, I want those to come in and balance this ecosystem out and keep it balanced, right? Because I want to encourage them to be around. For every bad insect, there's a ton of good insects in the garden. So that's the number one thing, is I don't really want to kill them. Number two is if they just completely have a population explosion and they're eating all of my baby brassicas, I will do something about it. I may either look into some diatomaceous earth. Works best when it's not really wet and we've been having a lot of rain. Or number two, I may look into doing a soap spray, but that you really have to have direct contact on the beetle itself. And so I would have to basically spray the entire garden, ground, just to try and get them all, because I don't really know where they all are at. And they can go and they can hide and stuff like that. So I don't know how effective that will be, but we'll do whatever we can to make sure that we have some nice harvest. One thing that I missed from earlier on is that we did come and transplant out a succession planting of lettuce into the space where our Hackeri turnips were. Here is the lettuce, and our lettuce successions are over in the bed over there, but we're shifting them under the trellis here because these tomatoes are gonna trellis up, the green beans are gonna trellis up, and we want them to kind of shade out the lettuce here during the heat of the summer. We're gonna be taking these ones and seeding them right here next to our parsley and beets, and hopefully these beets need to come in and see if I need to thin them anymore. I'm gonna be harvesting those out and we'll see how they grow. And now I've got two things for you today. Number one, I'm gonna congratulate Karen Green for winning our soil blocker from last week's video. Congratulations, Karen. I hope that you really enjoy this. I saw in the comment that you're actually haven't used one before, and fantastic. I think you're really gonna love it. So I dropped a comment down below yours letting you know how you can claim that. And for anyone else that is watching this video, drop a comment down below on anything in this video, and we're doing another giveaway. This time we are gonna do insect control by Bug Hut. And this is a garlic oil product that is a repellent for insects and chewing bugs on your plants. In fact, I think I should get some of this to try it out on my baby greens to keep them from getting chewed up. So drop a comment down below and you could win one. And another thing that happened this week is that we ended up setting up our other motion activated sprinkler. So now we have two. We have one on this corner down here that's gonna catch this side and the back side of the garden over there. We have another motion activated sprinkler over here that's gonna catch this edge and that back far edge. Because our plants are growing up, they can't see completely across the garden, obviously. So this is gonna catch any invaders coming in. These sprinklers literally are actually for protecting from animals getting in here, even though we've been using them for watering the garden as well. Baby greens are coming up. Hit by my own sprinkler again. And we probably will continue until I get my watering system set up, which I know I'm behind. Many of you are probably wondering what has happened to it. Still working on it, okay? But other things have come up. And it's kind of gotten pushed to the back burner. But that being said, I need to do it this next week because as our tomatoes keep growing higher, like this sprinkler is not gonna reach into the middle Same on the other side with those peas getting taller, so I need to find a solution. Not entirely ungarden related, but just something really fun that happened this week that I thought I would throw in for your entertainment. What do you do with a 100-foot by 30-foot wide piece of plastic, actually more than 30 feet wide because it goes up in an arch, that blows off of your greenhouse? We had a fun cousin camp get together with the family, and we ended up cutting it in half and making a not 100 but 200-foot long slip and slide down an awesome hill behind my sister's house that literally went sliding down the hill. It was pretty steep, and then flattened out on the bottom, and we slid clear across her lawn all the way into the creek on the other side. And then finally, I came around and did a little tour for you to look at the update. For those of you that have been wondering about, hey, how did it work with those fertilizers that you were using on the green beans and the tomatoes and the cucumbers, etc. So check out these green beans. Number one, the plants are just looking a lot healthier overall, and they have grown a lot, which is a good sign. Come over here and take a look at these tomatoes. Much deeper, rich green in the leaves. Remember, that's what I was talking about last time. I really want to see some really nice, dark, rich green in those leaves. A lot more growth on them. They are just overall looking much healthier than last time. And I think, you know, having that mixture of added nutrients, we have also continued to spray them with the micro and macro pack from AEA. And then the cucumbers as well, just really growing nicely, much healthier looking. Peppers are coming along, and the squash, the zucchini squash, the whole plant is looking much healthier as well. Here you can still see that little one growing. So I am very, very, very pleased with the improvement so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they grow over the season. Lots of exciting stuff coming down the road, lots more harvests to come, and that wraps it up for this week. A huge thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and hit that bell icon to get notified of the future videos as we go through. If you haven't caught what happened earlier in this garden, we literally started this garden from scratch, from lawn. I mean, it was like this lawn right here, but we scraped it off, all the sod. We started the beds from scratch, and you can watch the whole process from start to where we are today in the playlist for the Great Garden Challenge on the Seedtime channel here. There's a link down in the description where you can watch all the previous videos, and thanks again for watching now. Don't forget to subscribe, and I can't wait to see you next time.